Good news everyone, you still got time to get your very own plush version of our mascot ranch. We've had over 300 pre-orders so far, so if you want to grab your very own and make this a reality for everyone, check out the link in the pinned comment below and secure your very own. We can do this, guys. Let's get on with the video. Were you not a fan of how the Tournament of Power went? Did your favorite character bow out too soon? Well, now is your chance to have it your way, as we now present to you the Tournament of Power Bingo Tournament! And here is your host, coming all the way from his fireplace with crazy paving, it's me! Hello everyone, and welcome to the 4th edition of the Tournament of Power Bingo Tournament. We are now heading towards the end of round 1, with the final 4 heats coming up for you today. But first, let's take a look at the winners from the 3rd episode from what we had last week. And if you are new to this series, do check out the previous episodes to get yourself clued up about what the potential competition could be all about. Our next 8 entrants into round 2 are Hop and Shapil, both from Universe 9, so they're doing very well here. Then we have Basil and Obuni, followed by, obviously, Caulifla and Zoire from Universe 11, throwing a bit of a surprise there. And then, this one's no surprise, Vegeta and Gohan. I mean, honestly, could you really expect anything else? I mean, just look at the other 3. Oh dear. So if you're not fully clued up about what this thing is all about, we made an Excel spreadsheet and randomized all the fighters so we didn't just have Universe 2, 3, 4, whatever. We actually made things a little bit more mysterious. And we used our budget of around about a few quid to come up with a solution in the form of a bingo tournament, because bingo is intrinsically linked with Dragon Ball. We have 4 more heats to go, and we now must find out who is going up against who. So now, let us go to the drawing of the numbers! Thank you everyone for your patience. The results are in. The numbers of Heat 13 are 29, 13, 42, 20, and 69. For Heat 14, the numbers are 70, 74, 59, 56, and 5. For Heat 15, they are 8, 4, 51, 23, and 37. And for the final heat, our selections are 31, 75, 21, 30, and 25. We have our numbers, everyone, but what do they mean? Find out next on the Tournament of Power Bingo Tournament! Bergamo. Bergamo is the leader of the Trio de Danger, and one of the most striking fighters, not just from Universe 9, but from the entire Tournament of Power roster, as well as representing the peoples of the city of Bergamo in northern Italy. This leader of the team and candidate for the team captain of Universe 9 stood his ground, and was one of the few beings to call out Goku for his reckless behavior. Be careful where he puts his giant burning fist though. Tenshinhan. Tenshinhan has a long history of martial arts prowess, but was sold short during the original tournament, despite getting at least 1 takedown. With a range of powers and the ability to think his way out of a problem, might he get a better chance to do his teachings justice from back in the day and use all of his vision to see things through? Dr. Rota. Dr. Rota is an enigma. What exactly is his power? We may never know, unless you give him the time of day to be able to showcase his true selection of powers. For now though, all we can say is that he is the biggest mystery of the entire tournament. The darkest horse. Even though he's a bull. Murachim! The strongest jowls in the universe, Murachim is the most prominent champion of muscle that the Kais of Universe 10 wanted to demonstrate during the tournament. Although he was able to wrestle with Toppo for a short while, his bulk was not enough against Frieza, and ultimately proved that brawn is not all that it's cracked up to be.
Duracem. Duracem, or not Zarbon, didn't really get a chance to show his power from Universe 10 when Ribrian removed him from the battle. Is his true strength as potent as his very good looks? Well, we don't really know. Might we?
Heat 13 is now done. We have 3 to go. Heat 14, show us what you got.
Sorel. Despite her plucky attitude, Sorel's powers are just as mysterious as Dr. Rota's. Her rabbit-like frame could be seen as a useful means for high jumps and agile attacks, perhaps. But until we get another chance to show off what she can do, all we can say is, she looks cool. Ribrian. Ribrian, or Brienne de Chateau in her normal guise, is the embodiment of love in Universe 2. Her powers are extensive and easily the most dominant of Universe 2. However, when going up against Android 18, her power stumbled as her basic drive was questioned, all thanks to the Krill Dog. Without Android 18 in this heat, will she be able to do better this time and maybe get her revenge later on? Magikaio! Magikaio, like most of Universe 3, was modified before the tournament to amplify his powers. These ones being shapeshifting, not transformation. He can manipulate his body into different beings and examples depending on what he needs to be. From limb extension to comically huge fists, Magikaio really does surprise the competition. Catopesla! Catopesla is the ultimate superhero in this tournament that isn't from the Pride Troopers. His power comes from his armor, which can change into different modes, from speed to power to basically everything. This 300 times boost in prowess is enough to trouble a lot of fighters that would not have expected this from a guy wearing a mask. Will he be able to go the distance this time? I sure hope so. Roji! The demure member of the Kamikaze Fireballs, her power is just as forceful as her colleagues. Being able to deal base form Goku some serious trouble, this fighter went down with her friend Ribrian in the effort to fight for love in Universe 2. Her time was limited and overshadowed by her other teammates. Can things change?
Oh, Heat 14, eh? We're starting to see some of the heavy hitters that have been mysteriously absent as of late. But now, can we get more from Heat 15?
Frost. The con artist from Universe 6, Frost was able to wheedle his way into the team from being called up by Hit. You can't really say no to that guy if I'm honest. His powers are relatively strong for most people, and what makes him even more effective is the fact he is not shy about his underhanded tactics anymore. Being able to overwhelm the likes of Krillin early on, the only thing that stopped him was being played by himself, effectively, in the form of Frieza. Better luck next time. Shansa. The most apathetic fighter in the contest. His ability to create illusions was enough to trouble Piccolo for a little while, and he was one of the more hardier members of the Universe 7 team. But when it comes to drive, it's just as short as his stature. And power-wise, he is nothing to write home about. Can he truly rely on tricks alone to get by? Kunshi. Kunshi may be a slow boy, but when it comes to laying down traps, he is very effective. His energy threads are enough to get the jump on most people. That is, if they can't fly or jump particularly far. His attacks are limited but varied, so he is a versatile member of the group. With hits suggesting that his threads could trouble even the redhead power of Goku, perhaps there might have been potential in this one. Jiren! Jiren, he is absolute strength. I mean, that's all there is to it. He's big, grey, and buff. The opposite of most alien stereotypes. Is it over already with him around? I don't know, maybe. Hit! Hit's powers are, mostly, unbeatable. The stoic leader of Universe 6 went out relatively early, before the halfway point even. But despite this, he was able to stay out of trouble and manage his team very effectively, as well as knowing what they were capable of. After his earlier battles with Goku, the Purple Rogue has developed into a very important asset for his team and universe. Can he do better now with a chance to shine?
Heat 15 didn't disappoint, but now, the final heat. Who are the last 5 going in to round 1? And you get to choose, remember, vote.
Magetta. This boy is too hot to handle at times. With his furnace in full force, Magetta is enough to outsmoke his competition, especially when he's got his ears plugged up. However, throw an insult at him without the protectors, and you'll be able to hold his Inferno-like powers quite easily. Can his skin handle the competition enough so he can do better against Vegeta? Mona! Mona's power depends on her size. When able to expand her reach, literally, she can trouble Super Saiyans and was one of the trickier fighters from Universe 4. Much more so than Shansa, that's for sure. A very particular fighter who doesn't appreciate cheaters or tricksters. Mona might be able to keep rolling a little longer if you let her. Piccolo. Piccolo, the wise and quiet observer of Universe 7, had a very steady time of it for the most part, until the little Damon got the better of him, and the Namekian forgot he could extend his hands to keep himself in the ring. However, if he did remember, hopefully, he might have lasted longer, and even got to the end with his focused nature. Let's see what he can do now. Punchia! The brains of Koichirator, Punchia was sadly one of the physically weaker components of the combined robot. However, he is the one to analyze all the fighters and conclude the activation of Plan X, being able to call upon his brethren bots to form the robot and then later Aniraza. With part of his crew missing though, is this enough for him to outthink his way out of this mess? Kakunsa! The wild side of the fireballs, Kakunsa is able to hack and slash her way through most opponents with her tenacious force. Android 17 noted her determination, though he did have to tolerate a bite from the lass at one point. When we found out he was going easy on her though, because she reminded him of his animals, this concluded that her overall power wasn't as vicious as her mood. Can she skirt around this prey and predate others? That's it everyone, we now have all 16 heats complete. Tune in next time to see our first ballots for round 2. We shall then explain the format going to the grand final. Hope you're all staying safe out there, and please remember to vote as we now head into the next stage of the Tournament of Power Bingo Tournament!